A man smiles into the camera. He has hazel eyes and short brown hair. Text appears. Bello Miguel Cipriani, Doctor of Education. Pictures of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge during rush hour and the San Francisco skyline at night.
My name is Bello Miguel Cipriani, and I am an author, a journalist, and an entrepreneur. Before I was blind, I was your typical millennial living in San Francisco doing the tech thing. I felt invincible. I felt like that the world was my oyster. When I was 26 years old, I came across a group of friends from my childhood. They were the first group of gay men I hung out with as a teen, and they were really my first glimpse into the gay community. We went to parties together, we ate together, we did laundry together, we had, sleepovers all the time. They weren't just friends or acquaintances, they were family. But as time progressed, my priorities changed, and so did theirs.
A picture of a sign that reads, Notre Dame de Namur University.
I really wanted to go to school and get a college education and do things for myself. I didn't realize that they were harboring, negative feelings towards me, and they began to assault me.
A picture of the San Francisco skyline again, but this time it sharply fades to black.
I received multiple blows to the head and my face, and I even had one of my eyes burst. I think my first feeling was shock. I was in denial. I couldn't believe that these people would hurt me. I was also afraid.
Bello is sitting on a rock with his first guide dog, Madge, a golden lab, at his feet.
I was in pitch darkness. I went through a very, very long period of depression.
Bello sits at a desk typing on a laptop computer.
I knew that I needed to do something beyond just learning to read Braille or use a white cane or use the adaptive technology. I needed to work on myself. And so I began to see a therapist. One of the things I found very useful in therapy was journaling. I remember the therapist reading it out loud to me and saying, this is really good. This is something I would read on a magazine or a paper. It helped me feel heard. And so I started thinking, could I actually do something with this writing? I started taking, workshops and classes, and eventually went to go get my graduate degree in creative writing and started, carving my own career as a writer.
A picture of the cover of Bello's first book, titled Blind, a Memoir. It contains a nighttime photo of the Columbus Tower and Transamerica Pyramid in San Francisco. Bello stands at a podium with a microphone in hand.
When I published my first book, Blind, a Memoir, I did a lot of readings and events, and I often had people with various disabilities come to hear me read or talk. And one of the first questions was, how did you get published? How are you writing for the San Francisco Chronicle? How are you getting yourself published by HuffPost?
An animated logo of a dozen or so interwoven circles coalescing. Text appears, Oleb Books.
And so that was where the idea for a publishing house for writers with disabilities was first conceived.
Bello sits on a patio and pets his second guide dog, Oslo, a black lab. Bello takes a walk with Oslo along a pedestrian bridge in Minneapolis.
People don't always recognize that people with disabilities are the largest minority group in this country. However, our stories are not heard. Disability stories are often stories of being able to work through a very difficult situation.
A picture of the cover of the debut title from Oleb Books, Firsts, Coming-of-Age Stories by People with Disabilities.
The first book that my small press published was an anthology that focused on first experiences of people with disabilities. The title just received a gold medal from the Reader's Favorite Book Awards.
An image of a golden certificate with text that reads, 2019 International Book Awards in recognition of excellence in writing, gold medal winner, nonfiction anthology.
That's just amazing for a debut title from a small press to win such a big international award.
Bello sits at a desk typing on a laptop computer, occasionally petting Oslo, who sits beside him.
I am constantly getting emails and book submissions from authors with disabilities who want to get published. I wish I could publish them all. As a small press, we are limited in our funding. In addition, we want to make sure that our content is accessible, and so we are ensuring that our books meet the highest level of accessibility on print, on digital format, and on audio.
Bello and Oslo walk together along a city street.
I feel that for me personally, in publishing these stories about disability helps the community become more cohesive and be able to accomplish more. At the end of the day, a good story is a good story.
Text appears. Oleb Books needs your support to make it possible for writers with disabilities to tell their stories. Please consider making a gift today.